And I'm your host, Dana Migliori. How you doing today? I hope your energy is serving you well. Let's take a moment to center ourselves and just take a quick realization of where your energy is at in your body. Relax and take a deep breath in with me. And then let it all go. Thank you. So in today's episode, I really want to speak to you about how to find and live out your life's purpose. I know for me, it's been a wavering question. I've always felt like I've had a deeper calling, a deeper purpose here. And through my journey, it's been revealing itself more and more to me and becoming more apparent. So I just want to first off say that sometimes we can look at others' journey and them following their passion, their purpose, living it out, perceiving like they have it all figured out. Because this personally happened, I was on a spiritual manifestation call and I was speaking to a lovely lady, but she kept looking towards me, thinking I knew my purpose. And that for her, it was going to take this long, played out journey to even begin or start to figure out. So again, perceiving me, thinking I have it all figured out, and in her situation, feeling overwhelmed by the 1,000,001 steps she's assuming she'll need to take in order to figure that out. And so what's funny about how we perceive things on my end, I don't believe I have it all figured out. I'm getting closer and closer and understanding more and more every step I take. Every time I follow my instinct, I listen to my intuition. I use my inner soul connection and that guidance to guide me there. And the more that I've been in that energy, and the more I've enhanced and strengthened that connection, the more that becomes apparent to me. And there's moments I get lost in my thoughts. I allow my ego, which is a tool for spiritual evolution, but the ego will trip you up and make you ask more questions. This is how we evolve as humans. So I'm figuring it out. I feel good. And then the ego comes in and is like, is this what you're really supposed to do? Or should you be doing this? Should you be doing that? And this is how things expand. There's never going to come a point in your life where everything's perfect and nothing needs adjustment. Because we're here on earth. We came to earth to create and evolve and experience the beauty, love, joy, passion of that creation and the unfolding. So the most beautiful realization is that the fact that you have the desire to know what your passion is means it's calling you. Don't convolute it. I gotta figure it out. I gotta know exactly what it is before I take a step. You can already feel when your energy goes there how much resistance is within you. Because that doesn't feel like a thing you want to do, right? Do I really want to figure it all out so I can do all that thinking and figuring just to take that first step? That's the funny thing. And that's where we kind of all begin. We have to figure it all out. But the fact you have the urge, lean into the urge more. Ask your inner guidance. Connect with your soul guidance. If you're not sure how to even begin doing that, make sure to grab my Ascension Workbook. If you don't already have it, it's absolutely free. You can grab it through the link below. It's got all the techniques and processes you can use to enhance this. And then once you have it, you listen to that call. You just make that your practice, and it will begin unraveling itself. That's the beauty. But again, we get tripped up. I get tripped up. Ego comes in for evolution. But all in all, the fact that you feel you are called for more, the fact that you have a passion and you want to do it And these voices may be coming in your mind telling you why you can't. That is a subconscious programming that was picked up and adopted. You adopted it. And the reason why it feels so negative when it comes up is because it's not yours. All the beliefs that we've picked up that aren't ours are heavy on us. And that's why we need to release and let them go, to lighten our energy, to lighten our being, so we can ascend higher and raise our frequency. And I always get asked, what is the number one thing you can do to raise your vibration? And there are many, but the easiest and the most efficient is following your passion. Leaning into what that is. Is that just right now lip syncing and dancing to your favorite song because you feel very passionate when you're doing that? Then start there and then follow the feel good from there. We make it out to be this huge, difficult thing, and then we begin looking at other people's journeys. I'm not saying you're comparing yourself so much to them, but you feel like you're late. You feel like you haven't made the right decision yet. And you see them doing it and you're like, oh, why am I so behind? Now that's an energy that can take on in your energy field, and then a lot of things in your life you can feel behind on. Because that is a pattern, that is an energetic pattern. And to disrupt these patterns, we become aware of them, we recognize them, but then we also put in what we want now. It's time to reprogram it, right? And so the best thing you can do, there's repetition is great for that. Making a statement or mantra your background on your phone, if you look at your phone quite frequently, right? Because it's repetition, reading it and reading it and reading it. Also a password, you have to write it out. Think about how many passwords you have. How many reprogrammings could you put into these passwords to help stimulate that part of your brain? Sleeping, we go into theta, we go into delta and deep sleep. We're easily susceptible to that change because that's where a deep-rooted mind is, and our brain automatically goes there. And there's so many different ways. You can listen to theta binaural beats by reading positive suggestions and incorporating that and spending time feeling that energy, imagining that outcome for you. These are all ways that you can reprogram, your subconscious mind. But again, back to, figuring out your purpose is more as in following the little pebbles of guidance that appear to you, that you feel, that you have a sense of. Lean into those more. They will happen more. Things will reveal themselves as you take action in following this. And you're not following this so you get a specific outcome. You're following this because it feels good. That is a huge key component. You're following it because it feels good. Because again, another thing that's going to trip you up is that you're going to look for the outcome. I've been following this, nothing's happened. Maybe you're taking steps in a small business that you want to start for yourself or working for yourself, and you're noticing you're not getting the outcomes you want. Again, that's going to trip you up. I only know that because I've done that. And that'll never get me to the outcome I want. That's just making me dance around it for a bit till I learn to let go, till I learn to surrender. Because the universe doesn't know or really care what you want, to be honest. It only hears and only responds to who you are truly being in the moment, energetically and with your frequency. Now, your higher self, that external soul part of you, knows what you want and can lean you into what energy and frequency you need to be in to attract that. But you have to listen to those nudges and you have to strengthen that connection. That is the ultimate spiritual map you were born with. because we all decided to come here. Earth is the playground of creating and evolving. We said, sure, okay, you're going to forget everything. You're not going to remember any of this. You're going to have amnesia. But you have free will. And so it's up to you to remember. And if you want to take that path on why you came here, you can. Or you'll just repeat it all over again and come back. It's up to you. And so I don't know how many times I've actually reincarnated, so to speak, and have lived. Now, I read somewhere that birthmarks are a huge indication of past lives. I'm covered with them, head to toe. So I don't know if that means I've done this trip, maybe not even just on Earth and other dimensions and realities, how many times. So be interesting to do a past life regression on me, for sure. Now, again, follow that feel good, because that's going to lead and leave you all the clues. You're not going to scavenger hunt when you find a piece of the clue and you have to follow it. Isn't there some type of satisfaction and glory in obtaining that next clue and getting closer and closer to the treasure in this scavenger hunt we call life? Even in those lock rooms, you know, those rooms they lock you in and you got to figure out the puzzles. Isn't it sort of satisfying when you receive it? And then you move on to the next level, and then there you are again, figuring it all out. It is like the same thing. That is a great metaphor. And it's fun. If you knew all the answers, if you had it all there, how boring would that experience be for you? Okay, nope, done. We did it. That was a waste of money. Right? So remember, it's all in your feel good. It's all in your inner soul connection. And if, again, you're finding yourself at a point in your life where you feel detached from that connection, because it's always with you, but you may not always be tuned to it to feel the love, support, and guidance that is always there for you, because you are never alone. You are never truly alone. And when I remind myself of these things, the resonance, the goosebumps I feel within my body, I know it to my core to be true. And now everybody has their free will to what they choose to believe. But if you've been attracted to this podcast or me on social media anywhere, then we have something in common. We have that urge to know more, to figure out that calling, and to thrive into that. The amazing things that will unfold if you let go of your outcome. See, expectancy is great to use when you expect an outcome and then it just happens. That is great. But in bigger picture scenarios, your physical mind isn't the one that actually generates the idea, or that's coming from your higher self. Your mind only knows how to perceive that idea. That's the difference of this level of consciousness. And that's why connecting to that higher consciousness, we can create faster, more efficiently, instead of more in a struggle like. Because we are always creating. There's no moment where we are not. That would define all the laws of the universe. You are divinely led to hear this message. So I'm going to ask you, what do you choose to do with this message today? I encourage you to do something that makes you feel amazing. And it doesn't have to be something that costs you money. It's just going to take a little bit of your time, even 5 minutes, and just go all in. Not worried about an outcome, not doing it for a specific thing, just doing it to feel good in your connection. I make sure that I set at least 5. If not, I like to use like an hour, but I break it up through the day, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, to connect with those energies. Especially when I find myself overthinking. I'm in too much of my physical brain. I'm in too much of physical matter. I've felt that the light energy has subsided from me a little bit. I've lowered my frequency. When I figure out, I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good. Here I am really striving and struggling here. Let's just take a moment to break that. And whether it's plugging in a song, reading a mantra, reading a part of a book, watching something from a music video or a movie that generates something within you that brings you back to that that good energy, stay there for a couple moments. When you do that, you're retraining and rewiring yourself at the same time to make this more of a habit. I'm telling you right now, you don't need to know the exact definition of what your purpose is. You have one, okay, because you are here. So just being here is being in a purpose in itself. You're expanding with consciousness. So if you're worried that I don't have a purpose, I feel like I don't know what it is and I'll never know, already know you or have one by just being alive and being in this body. But the second thing is, again, to recognize what lights you up naturally. We all have it. Some of us, we tune into it more than others. But make that habit to notice it and then start incorporating that more into your life. If I can do it, you can do it. Begin this and you will start noticing a shift. You will notice things change and things unfold for you. And this is where the beautiful journey really starts to reveal itself. So remember, you have the power, you are in control. And simply by following your feel good, following that passion, whatever it may be, don't judge yourself. Lean into it. Do more of it. And again, if you need additional guidance here, make sure you have grabbed the Ascension Workbook. That's absolutely free for you at the link below. And begin utilizing those practices and then start listening to what your inner guidance is telling you. Every chance that I get to be in front of you, speaking from my truth and my heart, I am forever grateful. I appreciate you. And if anything resonated with you in this video today, make sure to like it. Share it with somebody that you feel would benefit from hearing this message and knowing more of this information. And if you've not done so already, make sure to hit subscribe so you get notifications when more messages and information come out. It is always my pleasure to connect with you energetically. I want to take this moment, close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, because right now I am sending you a love light frequency that you can choose to tune into and let it just ravish your body and raise your frequency. Deep breath now. Let go of any thoughts or worries. Know you are powerful. Know you have a purpose. Know you came here to create. Follow your feel good. Make sure you're breathing in and letting it all go. From the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough for tuning in today. I'd love to hear from you. If I've sparked an inquiry in you and you have a question, Or there's something you have a topic that you want to know more on, reach out to me, whether in the comments or reaching out to me on social media. Let me know, and I could customize a whole episode for you. It is always a pleasure, and I'll see you next episode.